Today we will start with the bioenergetic. So to understand this, first of all, there are various pathways found in our bodies, and we are taking these food materials from this. Okay. So first is carbohydrate, protein and fat. All are metabolized or digested into our forms. So we get that simple sugars in monomer unit, whereas in case of protein you will find a monomer unit is amino acids. Same thing is fat. The fatty acid and plus glycerol is formed. These all polymer will degrade into a forms amino acids. This acetyl-CoA that is formed from all simple sugars and fat. Now finally this acetyl-CoA enters into a citric acid cycle and then it forms a CO2. So this is the outlines of pathways for carbohydrate metabolism of dietary carbohydrates or dietary proteins or dietary fats that will lead to a production of acetyl-CoA, which oxidize into a citric acid cycles and that oxidize into a citric acid cycle and ultimately yield ATP in the process of is called as oxidative phosphorylations. Now, what will happen if this intermediate metabolism, and what are the purpose of this intermediate metabolism? So, to understand these, there are various reactions involved in this. To generate or utilize a free energy, they need to carry out the different functions. Seeing the term catabolism and anabolism was coined by physiologist Gasquet in 1886. Similarly, this Gasquet has also found certain degradative pathways too. Chemical energy is obtained from the degradation of energy-rich nutrients. Then another purpose of this intermediate metabolism too, that is a food material are converted into a building blocks, as I said, that is precursor of cellular macromolecules, and these building blocks are later made into a macromolecules. Such protein, nucleic acid, polysaccharides, etc. biomolecules required for synthesis of cell are synthesized, and these biomolecules are required for specialized functions, and these functions are operating in the various cells. This is the intermediate metabolisms. Why we want to study, and what is that conversion capacity. For example, metabolism is a term that used to describe the interconversion of chemical compounds in the body, the pathway taken individual molecules, their interrelationship, and the mechanism that regulate the flow of metabolites through the pathways. It means there are interconversion of chemical compound not only in our body but in plants too. you will find interrelationships and various signal molecules are produced. Okay. Now you have to understand what are the metabolic activities. Metabolic means two terms comes. One is ana, another is keta. So the catabolic pathways and anabolic pathways both are involved, and sometimes it is often found that the both pathways are there. So it is called as amphibolicks. So to understand first of what is anabolic pathways, they are involved in conversion or synthesis of larger molecules from the smaller molecules, and proteins from amino acids, then polysaccharide from monosaccharides. These are the anabolic pathways. Now we have to understand what is catabolic pathways. These are involved in the breakdown of larger molecules into a smaller molecules. So amino acid is a smaller molecules from proteins and monosaccharide from polysaccharides. Same thing is that, but here macromolecules is produced or degrade, okay, into a monomer units. Amphibolic pathways which occur at crossroad of metabolism, crossroad, okay, acting as a link between anabolic and catabolic pathways. That is called, for example, citric acid cycles. Okay, this is all about anabolic, catabolic, and their interactions, and their definitions, and their examples. Now we will start with the metabolic phases. So understand this word metabolism. Thousands of chemical reactions are taking place inside a cell in an organized, well co-organized, or and has a purposeful manner. All these are collectively called intermediate metabolisms. We will repeat this. What is intermediate metabolism? So intermediate metabolisms means thousands of chemical reactions are taking place inside a cell in an organized, well co-organized and purposefully manner. All these collectively called intermediate metabolism. The term metabolism came from Greek language, that is metabolo or metabol, that is means change, and bolin, B-A-L-L-E-I-N. These Greek words indicate, means it is called as throw. In living organism there are three different phases of metabolic phase. These are, first is primary metabolism, another is secondary metabolism, third is tertiary metabolism. So to understand, primary metabolism includes a digestion in the human body, whereas in secondary metabolisms are called intermediate metabolism. It includes catabolism, means breakdown process of biomolecules, and anabolism means synthesis of biomolecules. Tertiary metabolism, or it includes, there are two processes found and it includes two. One is biological oxidation, another is oxidative phosphorylation. Okay, this is the two types. Now, there are certain principles, or we can say three principles or characteristics are there. First is three principal characteristics of metabolic pathway. There are irreversible pathway or typically irreversible metabolic pathways, and certain branch one metabolic pathways is also found. Now irreversible pathways is called, there are highly exergonic reactions. If two metabolites are metabolically interconvertible, the pathways from first to the second must differ from the pathways from second back to the first. Example of irreversible pathways in the carbohydrate: oxidations, fatty oxidations, heme biosynthesis. These are the irreversible pathways. Now, typically, this irreversible metabolic pathway, to obtain a product, a metabolic sequence should be sequentially irreversible. Example from typical metabolic pathways are glycolysis, synthesis, and degradation of liver glycogens or to glucose. Then branch metabolic pathways. Some metabolic sequence may have common pathways for the many steps, then branch into a 2 or more separate paths. Example, branch metabolic pathways are in carbohydrate metabolism. For example, glucose 6-phosphate acts as a starting precursor for the glycolysis or glycogen synthesis. Or we can say hexose monophosphate shunt is also one of that examples. Now, pathways that process the major product of digestions, the nature of diet, set a basic pattern of metabolisms. There is a need to process the product of digestion in dietary carbohydrates, lipids, and protein. These are mainly glucose, okay, fatty acid and glycerol and amino acid. Respectively, all these products of digestion are metabolized to common product, that is acetyl-CoA, as I said previously, and that then oxidize into a citric acid cycle, and that will convert into a CO2, right? Until that we have started from that. So what are the energy source? Now new topic comes. Okay. So you have to give these answers from that. How is the energy conserved in our body or in plant species? How does the energy convert to different forms? How do chemical energy source metabolize to what? And what are the common or component involved in that? And where does the energy conserve take place? What is the efficiency on each step of energy conservation? This will studied later on, but we will start with this concept. What is bioenergy? In intermediate metabolism, we have this chapter, the study of energy in living system, or in that living system means environment, and organized plant and animal that utilize them. First is energy. Energy means that is required by all organisms, maybe kinetic or potential energies. Okay, so this is bioenergy. It is the study of energy in living system. Okay, that may be plant or animal. Now, first law of thermodynamics. First law of thermodynamics, also known as law of conservation of energy, stated that energy can neither be created nor destroyed. Okay. It may change one form to another form, but the energy is in a closed system remain constant. First law of thermodynamics, also known as the law of conservation of energy, stated that energy can neither be created nor destroyed, and in any physical or chemical changes, the total amount of energy in the universe remain constant, although the form of energy may change. Okay, so this is the first law of thermodynamics and how it's created. Now, endergonic reaction and exergonic reactions and model